Welcome to Home Equity Secrets. I'm Carl Christian, CEO of the Nice Agent Co. Join me as we reveal how to learn to earn through smart homeownership. Discover expert insights, practical advice, and inspiring stories on turning your home into a powerful financial asset. Whether you are a first-time home buyer or a seasoned investor, let's unlock your home's true potential together. Welcome to Home Equity Secrets. Thank you, everybody. My name is Carl Christian. You are tuning into Home Equity Secret. This is a podcast that we're going to teach you about how to maximize your property's values. Again, you can actually refinance your property. You can do a home equity loan. You can sell the home and use the equity. Each one of them have their own secrets or their own pitfalls. And sometimes the knowledge will make the huge difference if you succeed or not. Tune in into Home Equity Secrets and start unlocking the true potential of your home. Today, we have as our guest a friend of mine for the longest, Jean-Paul Rousseau. Jean-Paul Rousseau is a real estate agent, so I cannot wait for him to tell you his ideas when it comes to Home Equity Secrets. And I'm pretty sure you're going to find out the things that he's done with his home equity. Jean-Paul, how are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
I am good, thank you. Yes, I've been a real estate agent for 5 years now. I wish I done it sooner because I really enjoy it. I'm originally from Haiti. I moved back in the country exactly 5 years ago, and that's when I decided to pursue the real estate career that I always wanted to do. And 5 years going, I'm seeing progress and I want to keep doing it.
How are you loving the career? Like, how is there anything about the career that makes you feel like, oh, maybe I made the wrong choice? Or is there, what are the hardest part? Like, tell me, what is the hardest part for you right now?
I can tell, I understand now why so many people quit after a year or two, because it's a very challenging career.
That
And
it
a
is.
lot of people don't know it, what a real estate agent go through, because you could be working with someone for 6 months, for a year, and then you're a week to the closing and something happened
Yep.
and the deal fall through, and that's it. All your hard work for the past 6 months or a year, and you get nothing, So it's not easy. It's not easy. But what I realized, if you love it, you love what you do, and you put your clients first, you will get results. And the bad part of this field, this career, you take them as examples so it doesn't happen again. Some you can't avoid, but the ones that you can't avoid, you take it as a lesson. I always say it's just as an encouragement, because sometimes you really feel discouraged and you want to give up. I usually say, okay, it's the cost of doing business, you know,
Yes.
and I learn from it and then I move forward.
You know, one thing that you say that I really enjoy is like the fact that you learn from your mistake, because this is what makes you grow every single day. One thing that I enjoy being a realtor is not knowing what the day is going to bring. Every morning you wake up, no matter how you plan your day, I'm sorry to tell you, you have no idea what's going to happen. And I don't know, for me, it's exciting. And I love that because I hate doing things that are the same every single day. I just can't do it. And some morning you wake up, things are going smooth. And then with one phone call, I call myself a fireman. You have to put fire out. And that to me is real estate. And you're right. Today, we are also talking about home equity. In your eyes, let's say somebody is sitting on $300,000 worth of home equity. Jean-Paul, what would be the best advice you give them?
Right now, in this economy, I know it's tough, especially down here in South Florida, that a lot of people, especially investors, it's getting harder and harder to find what clients say good deals. But what people don't understand is you could go drive 2 hours away from South Florida and find a different city, a different county that you could buy a property for
That is so true.
$200,000. You know, it doesn't really have to be Miami or Fort Lauderdale. It can be an hour or 2 hours away. So what I've learned, raised in the Haitian culture, Haitian family, a lot of people usually make you like you're afraid to invest in, let's say, the stock market or the real estate market because you're raised with the mentality that what you're holding, that's what's yours, that's what you
If you
have
can
control
touch
of.
it, you can feel
Exactly,
it, you don't want it.
exactly. So you want to know that, okay, I work hard and then I save money, okay? But once you move here and then you learn the American mentality, you realize that money sitting at the bank, it's not worth anything. With and especially nowadays, the last 5 years, inflation it went up so much that if you had $100,000 at the bank 5 years ago, it's not even worth the same amount anymore. But if someone had that same cash in an apartment or a house, this money basically would have tripled in the
That's true.
last 5 years. You know, so there's nothing I can compare to real estate in terms of investing. And I always tell my clients that if you think long term, you're never going to lose. You know, yes, you could have a market crash, you could have the market can readjust itself. But if you're thinking 10 years, 15 years, it's not going to affect you. So, what I recommend, and that's the education that I'm having with my clients now, let's stop thinking Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Let's start going further north. Let's start going 2 hours, 3 hours from Miami-Dade or Broward County. You know, there's still deals. It's just down here, it's just tougher.
100% agree with you. And think about it. What about a different state? Does it
Yes,
matter if we can find a $50,000 property in Pennsylvania? As a matter of fact, why not? Because all you need is a great agent, a great property manager, and the money is flowing. One thing that I always want to tell people, equity is gained with time. You hold your property, and then guess what? You gain equity. And the way I defined it is a gift from the universe, which means that you buy a property for $200,000. 5 years later, it's worth 250. That $50,000 is a gift. Now, I don't know for you, but me, I value gift. If anybody gives me a gift, I value it. That's how I have all my collection. Like if you bring me a bottle of wine, I'm not gonna drink it. I'm gonna value it, put it on a shelf for you to see it when you come. And that's the way I am. I value gift. I don't agree with people using that gift for nothing or basically throwing it away. So this is why this podcast, the podcast exists. It's because I want people to understand that you can turn that gift into a wealth for your generation. And a lot of time people don't understand that it's not about, oh, I'm going to refinance my home and put a new kitchen, or I'm going to take the equity line on my home and go to my best vacation in Dubai. I do believe that if you use the gift wisely, it will change the course of your entire generation. What Jean-Paul just said, which I agree with 100%, if you're sitting on two, $300,000 worth of equity, you can think about buying a property 10 miles away or 1,000 miles away, as long as you do your numbers and it does make sense. Now, Jean-Paul, what type of home improvement would you advise somebody to do before they even think about going to withdraw their home equity for them to do any other type of investment
you're talking about improvement in their current
in their
properties.
current home because they're going to use it?
Okay. Usually, first thing when you go inside a property that people usually go there first, I would say, it's the kitchen. If needed, it would be the kitchen. It could be that the kitchen is fine, then For me, I would focus maybe on the floors if the kitchen is good. But my first priority would be the kitchen.
I agree. I agree. The kitchen will actually increase value on your home, believe it or not, except that some people go crazy doing their kitchen. So you have to consult your agent. You call Jean-Paul and you say, hey, Jean-Paul, I want to increase the value of my home because we're thinking about refinancing. We're thinking about doing a lot of credit. Can you stop by and see the property? And Jean-Paul will do comparables based on the properties around the neighborhood, and he will tell you like, yes, if you put a kitchen for that amount of money, you will be able to have a value of such. And a lot of times people just go emotionally, open a magazine and say, hey, I'm going to do a kitchen. And they spend $150,000 on brand new kitchen, and their house only increased value 30 grand. And it's all about numbers. If you're talking investment, it's all about numbers. Emotions are involved, but you have to control them. Another question that I have is, Jean-Paul, have you ever seen magic based on equity? Have you ever yourself sold your house, used the equity? Have you ever, what have you seen equity done for you and your family?
Okay, I can say I have a perfect example. When I moved from Haiti, that move was really quick. It wasn't like planned. And so my wife and I, we came to look at properties in Florida, and we're like, I don't think we're ready because we're gonna readjust ourselves. We're gonna make sure everything is fine. So we don't want no stress, no financial stress. So we decided to move to South Carolina to start. So basically what we did, we had a property to sell and use some of this equity to purchase the property in South Carolina. And after 2 years, thankfully, during COVID, that a lot of people were leaving in New York, up north, to come down south. And a lot of customers ended up moving to South Carolina due to the ability that the prices were good and they were new construction since in Spartanburg and Greenville, South Carolina, they were really building a lot of new constructions. So we were able to purchase a property which, after 2 years, had already gained equity that we were able to sell and purchase the property in Florida. So, yes, it could have gone differently. We could have rented. Let's say we moved to South Carolina, we rented a nice apartment or a house, let's say for $2,000 per month. Since it's cheaper over there, I'm gonna say around 2,000. After 2 years, that would have been $48,000 compared to owning a property and then selling after 2 years. And not only you invested in the property and you gain equity and you use that money to purchase another property. So it's basically, we lived in South Carolina for 2 years rent free and without even, I can basically say we live for free without paying to live in that property,
Yeah.
and we gain equity.
Yeah. This is the one thing that I love about your story. You decided that, hey, you know what? Family, we cannot be in Miami right now because the prices are a little too high. We can be in South Carolina. And you actually made the switch. You basically did it in order for you to gain the equity in South Carolina, and then you come back stronger in Miami. That is a story of, I don't know, like, I don't even know a perfect word to say it, because a lot of people will not make that move in order for them to be ready to be better. A lot of people would be like, hey, we cannot buy in Miami right now, but we can rent. Let's just rent. But you did not do that. And I do believe that a lot of people should follow your story, because for me, I always tell everybody, if today you cannot buy the house of your dream, buy a little house. Because with the equity of that little house, 5 years, 10 years from today, you will get the house of your dream. And a lot of people are not comfortable making that choice. And look at it. He did it. His family did it. And guess what? Today, they are better off. So I'm advising everybody to listen to the story. And if you are not ready for the dream, go build it, which means He had to go to a different state, not even a different county, a different state. And then guess what? He got the gift. We cannot call it the gift of COVID, but he got a gift. And then the gift actually set him up for him to be in Miami. I love that story. Jean-Paul, I know you're a realtor. Can you tell anybody how they can actually contact you if they ever want to buy, sell a house? And of course, how do you do business? Why would somebody work with Jean-Paul?
The first reason I could say is that it's always my clients first. Okay. And even sometimes I joke about it that I go show a property and I don't even know like what the commission will be. And I'm like, wow, I've been showing properties and I don't even know how much I'm gonna get paid. So my focus is never how much I'm gonna get paid. It's always out of the equation because the field we're in, you don't get paid until closing. So if that's your focus, you can go and find another field because that should be your last focus. Your focus should be the client. So I would say that's one reason. And the clients, my past client could vouch for that. I'll do anything to, like the slogan of the nice agent say, I will do anything to make you smile. You know, I will work until you smile.
Before we continue on the next question, there's what you said about money. The more we remove money from the equation, the easier it is to resolve. A lot of people, they focus on, I have to get paid, where's my money? And what I realize is whenever that is your sole focus, you actually make less of it. And I can tell you, I know Jean-Paul personally, and I know he's successful. And listen to what he just said. He does not think about the money. And what I realize in a lot of people that I interviewed that are very successful, they say the exact same thing. Money is the last thing they think about. They wake up every morning as, how can I succeed with my client? If my client wants a home, how can I found it? If my client wants to sell their house, how can I sell it? And the money just comes automatically because this is not what you focus on. And I'm going to tell you, Jean-Paul, you have a lot of great stories. I'm going to say, I'm so pleased to being able to interview you. Is there anything that you want to share with the people before we actually end the podcast?
Oh, the only thing I could say is that if you really want to do something, do not hesitate to do it. Just make sure you have the right person next to you to encourage you, to support you. Because I could say, from my experience, nothing good comes easy. And I could say for the real estate until now, after 5 years, I could say it's still hard. You still sometimes think about quitting, but once you have the right support, you have a good mentor, I could say thank you, Paul, because if it wasn't for you, I would probably quit a long time ago. But once you have someone that's experienced that could teach you the role, I'm not gonna say help you avoid some mistakes because you're gonna make mistakes anyways, but that could basically show you the way. I could say you could achieve anything.
I want to say thank you, Jean-Paul. Thank you for saying that. I do have the honor of coaching Jean-Paul because he is in the nice agent, but I also want to say that you cannot coach someone that is not coachable. And a lot of people think that, hey, I'm in real estate. I just want to get training. Teach me how to sell a house. I'm sorry, you can buy a book and get taught how to sell a house. I'm pretty sure somebody wrote a book, Sell a House by a Dummy. But what I'm going to tell you is what he's asking for is for you to understand you need support. You need a mentor. You need somebody that can understand the business and understand what you need in order for you to succeed. A lot of time, people do not understand that it is not about just making money. It's about growing to be a better person, growing to be a better father, a better husband, growing to be a better member of the community. Because at the end of it, you make money for what? You make money for you to be able to not only enjoy life, but also to be able to allow others to enjoy life. This is my mantra. My mantra is help first, ask question later. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching Home Equity Secret. You are actually witnessing Jean-Paul Rousseau. Jean-Paul told you, buy the house that you can actually afford, because down the road it will give you the gift that you need for you to buy the house of your dream. Thank you so much for watching. Jean-Paul, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for
Good
having
luck
me.
on everything you do, man.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into Home Equity Secrets. I'm Carl Christian, and I hope you found today's episode insightful and inspiring. Remember, you can learn to earn how to set up your real estate portfolio to achieve financial freedom. I dedicate my life to helping homeowners like you unlock the potential of their homes in South Florida. Hit me up if you're in the area and let's chat. Please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. For more tips and updates, follow us on social media and visit our website. Thank you for listening.